Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, one and all. Welcome back to the New Galaxy Gamers channel, and welcome back to our Let's Learn series in Stationeers. If you are new to the channel, welcome aboard. It's great to have you here. If you're a returning member, welcome back to you as well. It's great to have you all here hanging out with me, having fun. As usual, all usual disclaimers are in the description of this wonderful video. I did see a comment in the last episode, and thank you for the comment and the information. Great to see that there's confirmation that you can actually recycle those the filters in your suit. So that's great to see. I will have to look into that more and figure out how to do it. That's probably a later game thing. One thing I did see in the comment, and I think there was some confusion about this. I was not talking about completely overhauling the power grid, the power logic, and the power consumption. All I was saying is, and I'll show you here in a minute what I'm talking about. All I was saying is when it comes to the suit battery and the small and large batteries that the suit can use, and that you initially start out with in Stationeers. That's all I'm talking about. I'm not actually talking about overhauling the entire power logic, because I actually find it interesting and a challenge, and I like a good challenge. So I'm not really talking about it from that standpoint. What I want to show you here real quick is in each scenario, whether it be the moon, Mars, Europa, whatever, the whatever planet or moon we're play on in the game, you're going to have power issues, and you're going to have issues with oxygen, hydrogen, and all that good stuff. Same things we run into in Space Engineers, although Space Engineers doesn't really, it really doesn't have a power consumption logic once you have wind turbines and solar panels up and batteries up. It really, or nuclear reactors, it really doesn't have a power logic beyond that, because once you have power, you have power. You just have to make sure it doesn't drain out, and that's really easy to resolve in Space Engineer. Stationeers takes it to a more realistic level, which I actually do like. And it does have a more realistic power consumption and intake logic that I do like, and it's more consistent with the position of planets and moons in the solar system. Now, I know that there are some, like Vulcan, that are not real planets or moons in our solar system, at least not as we know it yet. But the ones like Mars and Europa and Titan, and whatnot, those actually do simulate distance from the sun a little bit better, and so they require you to think more. So I actually do like that approach, and I do think that is where that is part of where Stationeers developers have got it right. What I'm talking about when it comes to the small and large battery that you start out with is this. Let's go in here real quick. I'm gonna pick donut flats for the moment, just because it makes sense, right? So if we're on Mars, which we play on, I'm gonna select donut flats for this. We'll click next. Here's where I'm talking about. As you can see, there are difficulty modes. Yeah, there's creative, which you really don't have to worry about power and all that. You don't, it's creative, whatever you want. So the survival modes are easy, normal, and stationeer, which is basically brutal. May as well just say it that way. Yeah. What I'm talking about is having and maybe they are doing it to some degree. I've only ever played Stationeers in easy mode, so they may already be doing this to some extent. But if you're playing in easy mode, okay, your power consumption in your small and large batteries that you start out with should be lower. What I'm talking about. Just like with food, you can go and hydration on easy mode. You can go a good couple, 2 or 3 days. I've actually off camera. I've gone like 3 or 4 in-game days before I've had to actually eat and drink. Um, that may be a little bit less. That may be it may happen more frequently on the normal mode, and then even more frequently on Stationeers mode. So on easy mode, if I turn my light off, the consumption, my suit light off, for example, the suit battery depletes a little bit slower. But because those are small and large batteries, they're depleting quicker than, say, your base battery or your station battery in Stationeers. So all I'm saying is that, you know, the approach they should make the consumption rate in the small and large battery slower and base it on the mode. So if I don't have to eat, say, for 2 or 3 days, eat or drink for 3 or 4 days in-game days in Stationeers on easy mode, battery consumption, the rate of consumption of power should probably be closer to that. You are going to use power because, hey, it's just a thing. You're going to do it. You're going to, because you're going to have to use your suit light. You're going to have to do certain things to maintain a stable environment to survive in. So there are going to be those things to account for. I'm just, suggesting that they balance the consumption in those batteries could be balanced better. That's all I'm saying. So I'm not really, for those who think that I'm trying to say, oh, they need to redo the whole power consumption logic. No, I'm not saying that at all. I actually like the logic. What I'm seeing as a new player, if I have to constantly go out and get coal or whatever, deal with the depleted batteries at the start, how am I going to get to a point where I'm going to get a furnace or get other things up and running? So when I look at a game as a software developer, I try to wear multiple hats. I try to wear my developer hat. What would I do as a developer? I also try to look at it from the sense of a player. Especially if I'm new to the game, I'm going to look at it as somebody I'm going to wear the hat of a new player, and I'm going to look at it from that standpoint. So that's why I make the recommendation that I did, is just because that's where I'm coming from. Okay, so I just wanted everybody to know that. So just to clear up any confusion. And they might be doing it to some extent. Like I said, to be fair, I've only played Stationeers on easy mode. I have not played it on normal, and I have not played it on the Stationeer mode, difficulty mode. So they may already be doing it to some extent. They may just need to revisit to see if they can lower the rate of consumption a little bit more to make it a little bit easier. Because the most annoying thing for me that I see, at least on the easy mode, is the power consumption seems a little quick. And maybe and like I said, that could just be me. And I've had some people reach out to me that they haven't commented in the videos, but they have reached out to me privately and said, yeah, we've noticed this as well. So that being said, I also took the commenters' comments, and it was a really good comment too. And I want to just I want to talk about it for a second, if I might, because I really appreciated the comment, and yes, some good information in here. Thank you for the. He also meant this individual. I cannot pronounce your name, sir. So you can go and look in the last video, folks, in last week's episode, and you'll see the comment. I cannot pronounce that name, and out of respect for them, I do not want to butcher their name. I actually did go back and look off camera, and yeah, it does actually look like I may have missed the connection of the wiring there. So thank you for that. It's a good catch. It would not surprise me. I always try to do these shenanigans I think work, and then sometimes they don't. So thank you for that. I want to go back to the solar panel. I want to go back to the power consumption because they're mentioning you can do those flat and angled solar panels for the basic solar panels. Yeah, you actually can do that, and that's a good idea. Off camera, I did a test, and I took this individual's comments to heart, and I did a test, and I want to do it on camera with you guys today. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna deviate from our current series, our current episode save, and we'll create a new world. I want to do a test with you guys because I actually saw another video that had a different layout that actually seemed to work and seemed to resolve some of the issues that I was finding with the power consumption. So I want to test this theory with you guys and see if it works. It might take us a few episodes to do it and to complete this, but I think it would be interesting. It is a Let's Learn Together series, so maybe we'll all learn something from this, and who knows, maybe I'm going to actually learn that I may be more of a space engineer than I am a stationeer. And that's okay too. So let's do this. We're going to select easy mode. And don't worry, we will reproduce this test in normal mode and whatnot too. I'm just going to go ahead and name this. Use my naming convention that I always use. Camera power consumption test. Yeah, I'm going to call it that. Power consumption test, so I'll know what mode we're going to be, what world we're working with for the next couple of episodes. And we're going to say standard. We're just going to leave everything standard for now. I might actually test this because I've been playing around with this off camera. I've been playing around with the brutal condition mode off camera a little bit, and I've been having fun with that too, and I'm getting myself into a lot of trouble and shenanigans. We'll try that at some point too. And yes, we're going to try Europa at some point too, I promise you. Okay, so let's click next. We'll load in. And we'll go through it based on how I tried it off camera, based on what I saw in another video, YouTuber's video. This idea seems to work for them, and it seemed to work for me a little bit off camera. I got myself a little more stable. Oh, and okay, so that's where. Okay, so we're facing that way. So I'm gonna assume that. So as you start with your hood suit light on. That's stupid, in my humble opinion. Okay, so the sun is there, rising up. Okay, so that means it's gonna come this way. It's probably gonna set over here. All right. So let's go ahead and just map this out how we're going to do this here. I got to turn this on just for a moment. Iron frames. Iron frames. I don't know why I'm closing that. It's just habit. Alright. So let me do this. I'm gonna do a... Guess I can do it here too. We'll do this. We'll make this our... Make that our power pad, yeah. And... Three... 4... 5... And by the way, don't worry. I have an idea what we're gonna do with the base if this works. All right. Turn me L on just for a moment. Iron sheets. Number 5. Yep. There we go. Let's bring this up right over here like this. And let's see if this actually works. Ah! Jump myself right up here. So annoying when I have headphones that like to have a mind of their own. Okay, I got that. Yeah, I'm actually turning out to be right. All right. They do not make headphones and the wiring of them the way they used to. All right. Let's put you there. Let's throw... I'll throw the arc furnace right here. Oh, that just made it look stupid. Alright, no well. That's gonna take me a little bit to get used to that shadowing. Put our arc furnace right, our autolathe, we'll put you right here. I do have to say that physics in this game is rather interesting too. Off camera yesterday, I was wiring up the airlock, and sorry about that. My mouse is being stupid again, as is my mouse pad. Anyway, yesterday I was messing around with the airlock, doing some wiring, and I had the windows all installed and everything, and I somehow, because of the physics, managed to go right through the glass, right through the actual window when it was fully built. Don't ask how he did it, but 'cause I don't even know. I was like, okay. All right, so there's that. Let's grab electronics. We'll grab you. We'll grab you. So I'm gonna put the solar panel, we'll put you right like so. I'm gonna stuff the battery charger. I'm just gonna put it over here. Oh man, that really makes that off-putting. That really, those shadows, I like them, but they do confuse me. All right, let's stuff the, there we go. And I will make a couple of more solar panels too. Don't worry. It shall be done. All right. Grab the solid generator, grab you. Let's stuff you. Let's put you. Let's put you right here. All right. Grab my handy dandy wire cutters. Because, you know, we got to look cool with our handy dandy wire cutters. Right. Okay, we'll do this. All right, let me. Oh, that actually worked out better than I thought it did. Ah, cool. Put that there. All right, let's bring this wire. And I know you're going to say, oh, you're wasting a lot of wire doing that, but This is actually part of how I did it off camera. And you would probably be right. I probably am wasting a lot of wire doing this. But we are, believe it or not, all right, let me grab a power thingamabob here. See. Okay. Now I'm going to wire this all up before I open that thing. Go. Okay. Do this. Oh, there we go. I'll play it safe. There we go. Okay, there we go. Got that all wired up. That'll be all. Open this up. Flip that on. Grab the batteries. Okay, that's all powered. Put that there. Okay, so we basically have power. So that means we're getting started. That's got power. That's got power. Okay. Get rid of a couple of these objectives that we don't need now. There we go. Okay. Grab those. That way we won't lose those. All right. Okay. Now, the next thing for us is... And I know we only got 11 of these. That's okay. Let's see. One, 2, 3, 4. Right there. We'll do this. We'll start building a pathway out. Okay. 11 out, so that'll actually help. Iron sheets. Grab those. Grab our handy dandy welding torch. Alright, there. Now we probably won't use the full 11. We'll probably go like... Well, I'll show you in a minute what I'm thinking. Let me grab this real quick. Bring these down. Grab my wire cutters. We're going to be able to go do some mining here in a moment. I'll put an intersection there. Okay. Now, I know you guys are going to say, oh, you're wasting your wiring doing that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Cool. And I probably, and you're probably right. I probably am. All right. But that's okay. We're going to be able to go do some mining. So. All right. Let's go do some mining real quick. Grab our handy dandy drill. Now, see if I can remember where all the iron is. Nice juicy iron. Iron tastes so delicious, don't it? Nah, I'm just kidding. Okay, what do we got here? Copper. Well, we can grab some of this. We're going to need it. One more. Let's finish up the stack, guys. There we go. Alright, so we got 2 things of copper, which is good. This gold, this is oxite. Turn my headlamp off here. Alright. Gold. Let's grab 2 things of gold. $38, $44. Let's grab one more. $50. There we go. 2 things of gold. Alright, now we just need a couple of things of iron. Coal, we might come back and grab that later. We'll need it. More coal here. Iron. Grab ourselves a couple of these. Alright. I think we need the full stack there. Let's not waste our full jetpack running back. Can I see our... Can I see our base structure from here? Well, all I need to see is the lander, really. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Excuse me. Alright, so our first mining mission has been a success. And yes, I am learning. One thing that I will admit, is that I do have a habit of making things bigger than they need to be. And I think that's more a space engineers thing. I've caught myself doing it, and so that is a space engineers thing. That is one of the things in space engineers that tends to, I think, get me all the time. Is I tend to it does allow you to think bigger than you probably need to. So that's probably part of my problem here. But hey, I'm learning, right? I'm learning. Slowly. Alright, so we'll get all this smelted up. Put that in there. So basically, we're setting up the experiment, and we got the basics. Oh, and the other part of that comment was there is a compass in this game on the HUD, and there is, but you kind of have to look to the lower right-hand corner to find it. I'm talking about one that actually I can look at the top of my screen and see it. There is a mod in Space Engineers that allows us to do a HUD compass, and it puts it in the middle of the center top of the screen. That's the kind of that's the kind of compass I'm talking about, because it would be easier for me. I mean, I am over 6 feet tall, and so looking down, craning my neck to, straining my neck to look down at the corners, not always a good idea. So that's what I'm talking about there. But thank you for that. There is actually, for those that can see it, there is a HUD compass there. There is, in fact, a compass on the lower right-hand corner of the HUD.
Power low.
All right, so we've got power low. Not out yet. That's because we've been being a little bit more careful about power consumption, too. So we made it through a full daylight with power low. So we should be able to get, hopefully, through the majority of nightfall and into dawn. But after day 2, that's usually when the power issues happen. So I am going to make sure that we have a thing of coal, a couple of batches of coal, so that we can make sure that our batteries stay fully charged. And as soon as we can get an electronics printer up, we will, and we'll print out more solar panels to help us. Because I do think that's correct. Alright, all the iron is now smelted. Let's go ahead and do the gold. I might try to make 4 basic solar panels that we can put out over there. Yeah. I'll make 6. So I was also looking on the wiki, and what I'm going to do, I did this with Space Engineers, and I really should do this with Stationeers. I usually write myself out a cheat sheet, what we call a cheat sheet. Not of the cheat codes, guys. A cheat sheet is basically a guide that I write locally to tell me different things I need to know, so I don't have to keep going and looking in the wiki. Because if I were to look in the wiki in the game, the font size is not good for my eyesight. On the website side of it, I have to actually increase the font size there. So I end up just taking what I need and research and then writing it locally so that I have it and I can refer to it, because then I don't have to worry. So I'm in the process of doing that. I have been discovering that as I look for each block in Stationeers, the Stationeers wiki on the website side of it tells me the power consumption of each block and what it requires. So that is actually a good thing for me to have. And I'm going to do that, and we'll go from there with that part. So, all right, we are almost 74% charge. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make enough solar panels. What do I need over here for... Let's make the electronics printer. What do I need? Gold and copper. And, okay, we got iron. We just need the gold and copper. We need to make more cables too, so... Alright. We're getting there. Okay, there's another objective I can get off there. There. So I'm slowly learning to be a little more careful in Stationeers. Some of it, folks, is just me figuring out the mechanics of Stationeers. And as I do, I'll get more efficient, and so some of it might frustrate you, I admit, but hey, it's a learning experience, right? Believe it or not, I did this all the time in Space Engineers 2 when it first came out, and I was figuring everything out. I managed to make things blow up and explode more more than I have here, interestingly. So it is a learning experience, and I do enjoy it. I like the challenge. I do like the fact that Stationeers does give you a challenge. And sometimes when it annoys me, I can walk away from it for a little bit, think it through, and be like, oh yeah, okay, I should probably try redoing this. So... Oh, yeah, gold takes a while to do, doesn't it? Oh, and by the way, we are going to be having music coming to the channel for the videos. There was a comment somebody had made in City Skyline, in one of the City Skylines episodes, which I do agree with. So we will be doing that. I just need to figure out all the intellectual property stuff for that so that we don't get hit with a copyright strike or something stupid like that. So that is going to be coming. That's one of the things I do definitely want to be starting to do for the new year. Alright, there's the first gold ingot. A few in there, so I don't have to worry about it. Okay. Smelt the second batch of gold. Goldaroo. How are we doing over here? Oh, we got 33%. All right. I may have to go out and grab some coal just to run it through the furnace. Actually, that's probably not a bad idea. Yeah, it's probably not a bad idea. It'll be light out soon. All right, when it gets light out, we'll go grab a couple of batches of coal. And we'll store them. That way we got them. $37 grams to smelt. Yeah, and I know once I get the furnace, the full-on furnace up and running, that's going to be nice because that'll mean we won't consume power smelting. That'll be nice. That'll help. So my timer's bells don't blast my eardrums out on me by accident. Had that happen. I was recording an episode a while back and forgot that I had the bells on for the timer, and it just like literally blew my eardrums out. Took me a couple days to recover from that. Come on, daylight. Use ya. You know what, actually? This is why we got this battery. There we go. Hey, daylight's here. Oh, may as well go grab some coal while we're right here, right? Yipe. Did I walk right by the coal? Oh, that's right. I came across the copper first, didn't I? Alright, there's my other diggy hole there. Yeah. So that means coal was where? Over here somewhere. Oh, right here. Knew I had it. I am going to grab a couple extra batches of this if I can. Just because I know we're going to need it to make steel. Okay, I think we got enough. I keep forgetting jetpacks in this game do not work the same way as Space Engineers do. That is what? Gold. Okay, oh, there it is right there. I knew I was going the right direction. Excuse me. Alright, how's this doing? 34? Alright. Okay, we got the gold smelted up. Let's go ahead and grab our two you know, maybe it's that they've made the day-night cycle. Maybe that's part of the problem right there, actually. Maybe it's the length of the day. Maybe it's how quick the day-night cycle's going. Could be wrong, but... I'm happy to admit when I'm wrong. Alright, we'll have copper here smelted, and then we'll make our electronics printer. And some cable. There we go. Yeah, that day cycle goes pretty quick. Not that it's a bad thing, but I wonder if that might have some effect if I change that. Alright, let's throw this other thing of cotton in here, copper in here, and get that going. Make our electronics printer real quick. Yeah, that burnt out pretty fast. Let's just go ahead and give ourselves a little bit of a surety, folks. There. Now I am trying to. Now here's another question I'm trying to figure out: is the GPS antenna in this lander, or is it in our old lander that we're all used to over there? Trying to figure out which lander it's in. All right. So if you know that answer, feel free to let me know. All right, we'll stuff the electronics printer here for now. All right. Okay, that's fully charged up. Throw you over here. Get some cable going. One, two. Get these hooked up. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna get this hooked in over here. Okay. All right, we'll make up our... Okay, that's all right. All right, we got 15. All right, I'm just gonna let that thing real quick. And sheets. Okay. Okay. Ooh. $25.
Hydration critical.
Oh yeah. There we go. Grab that there. Grab me screwdriver. There we go. Okay, we got an electronics printer. Let me just build up enough iron here. Or what? Cable. Need 13 more. 12. Okay, 8 more. Eight more, and then I'll build up the may as well build up the pipe vendor while we're at it. I know I'm over an hour, so 4 more. 3. 2. 1. build up the pipe vendor, and then we'll eject all this and we'll put it over in the electronics printer, and we'll print out those solar panels. And that will be where we'll leave this episode. And then in next week's episode, we will continue testing this theory to see if it works. And if it does, then we'll know, okay, at least we got that. In next week's episode, we'll try to get the furnace built so that we can start getting that all done. Once we have the furnace, I think it'll go a little bit easier on us. So we won't have to use the arc furnace all that much. Okay, hydraulics printer almost printed. And I think I said we'd print 6 solar panels. I think is what I said.
Power critical.
I don't really want to my light off. That'll help. Okay. Alright, stuff these in here. Solar. Go. I said 6. Well, I need 5 technically. Alright, so we'll build 5. 1. 2. 3 more to go. 3. 2 more. Come on, give me these other 2. Because I think I think having 6 basic solar panels will actually help us with the power issue until we get fully going. So we can get to the station battery. Oh, we got 4, that's fine. 4 is better than just 1. 1. 2. 4. Okay. Bring you down here. Grab our wire cutters real quick. Oh. There we go. Alright, let's go grab some Oh yeah, let's do this while I'm right here. Go. Alright, let's grab some glass. That's how we'll end the episode. We'll get these solar panels installed. Now, hopefully I didn't just... Alright, there we go. Alright, that increases us a little bit more power-wise, so that's actually a good thing. As soon as we have more resources, we'll grab a couple of more and throw them down. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we'll go ahead and we'll leave it there. In the next episode, we'll continue with part 2 of this experiment to see if we're going to make it okay and do fine. I would appreciate your comments, ideas, suggestions for this experiment and all that good stuff as we continue our learning in Stationeers. If you enjoyed today's episode, please be sure to hit the like and the subscribe button. Smash that bell notification icon to let yourself know when the next video comes out. And be sure to share the link to the channel with your family, your friends, your colleagues, your co-workers, your pet kitty cat, pet puppy dog, pet parakeet, pet bunny rabbit, pet guinea pig, because they're so cute. I used to have a guinea pig when I was a kid. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, by sharing the link to the channel with others, it does help our wonderful channel grow, and it helps our wonderful community grow as well. That being said, I do hope you all have a safe, wonderful, and successful rest of your week, and I shall see you all in the next episode of a Let's Learn Together series here in Stationeers on the New Galaxy Gamers channel. Happy gaming!